Hello people, welcome back to yet another video. Let's talk about Arsenal. Now, again, this one will be pretty short, just a couple of points I wanted to bring up. A couple of actually interesting points. So, the first one, obviously, the Brighton game. Not going to talk much about it. I think this was one of our best performances of the season. I think we can all agree on that, limiting a very good side like Brighton, attacking wise, just to basically one chance they had at the end of the game. I think that was phenomenal job done by our midfield, by our defense. So probably the only negative is again we were wasteful. We missed way too many chances. This game should have ended like until the 60th minute. But anyway, we won 3 points in the basket. Liverpool dropping points against United, City dropping points against Crystal Palace, so it couldn't go better, right? So yeah, not going to talk much about it. Let's move to the second point, which is more interesting, and that's Jose Mourinho comments from, I think it was made 2 days ago, but last night it kind of exploded in the internet. I think you probably watched it. It's the interview he gave to John Obi Mikel, when Obi Mikel asked him about who Jose thinks will win the title, who's the favorites. He basically said City and Liverpool, and asked about Arsenal. He said like nah and started laughing. I mean, look, it's Jose Mourinho, right? He will troll Arsenal every single moment of his life that he can. The guy is pretty much irrelevant at this point, right? Nobody talks of him. Um, he's the coach of Roma, nowhere near winning the Italian league. The guy won the Conference League. I'm sorry, but I mean, come on, it's the Conference League, right? No disrespect, but you don't see many big teams there. And yeah, I mean, and the funny part is that this video came out a couple of days later after the video where basically they were showing how Mourinho was praising Arteta and the good job they were doing, and the team, the players, everything. So, as I said, the problem is a lot of medias immediately published it, right? Especially in the their social media pages. Let's put it this way: Facebook, Instagram, everything. And if you go there, you can see not just views, right? Obviously, there will be a lot of views, but comments as well. Now, if you worked or you know how the social media advertising works, years ago when this started, it was basically based on views. The more views, the more you get paid. Or let's say the more views you have of your site, the more money you can ask for, for adverts placed on your site. Then people realize that views is not exactly, how can I say, a correct way to assess how successful your site is, because there are a lot of people who would use different VPNs, etc., just to generate views, right? We all know how it works. So then they started to adjust the prices according to the comments, right? So this is the sign that your site or your social media page is actually popular, right? So the comments are much more important. And if you go, some of those published had like 10k comments, right? So don't do it, right? Just ignore it. Because the moment you go there, the moment you leave your comment on this site, do you think they will read it, right? Do you think that big medias, I'm not gonna go with names, but you know which medias I'm talking about, right? A couple of English medias there. They're populistic medias, right? I mean, they're not going to read your comment. They want war in this comment. So just ignore it. Now, obviously, they will target big clubs. They will target Liverpool. They will target Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea. It doesn't matter. So just ignore it, because they will continue doing it. Once you ignore it, they will stop doing it. Because honestly, if you put, instead of Obi Mikel, you put Thierry Henry, right, in this interview to talk to Jose Mourinho, do you think Mourinho will troll Arsenal? No, because he's terrified of Thierry Henry. We still remember when he said Thierry Henry only scores against small teams. The very next game against Chelsea, Mourinho's Chelsea, the guy scores a brace and makes him look like an idiot. And there's nothing Mourinho can say to Thierry. Thierry is a World Cup winner. He's a European champion. He won the Champions League, not with Arsenal, but still with Barcelona, and was one of the best players there when they had Messi, when they had Xavi, Iniesta, right? So come on. It was just a troll. It was just a stupid joke, and just ignore it. Like, just don't leave comments. Don't even click on that. Let them burn in. in the hell they create themselves. Okay, so that's all about this stupid comment. And the last point, actually the main point of this video, was the sign of improvements. And what I mean by that is I was reading all about those potential outgoings in this January transfer window for Arsenal. And the one that actually shocked me is Edin Ketia and the price Arsenal set to him, which is 40 millions. And apparently there are teams that are interested, right? Now obviously they will negotiate, but if we get anywhere near the 40 million assessment of Edin Ketia, I think Edu deserves a statue, because that's crazy. Honestly, that's actually crazy. We paid 50 millions for Gabriel Jesus. Now I know it's a couple years later, of course, inflation and shit, but come on, 40 millions for Eddie. If he gets something close to that, that's insane. Now, the other thing is the other transfer actually is Aaron Ramsdale. Again, 50 million. I think it's a fair price. In this case, it's not shocking. I think it's a fair price. Yeah, he's our second goalie, but last year he was one of the best goalies in the league. Now I know, in general, of course, Alisson, Ederson, they're both way ahead of him. But if we're talking only last season, right? It wasn't Alisson's best season. Yeah, Liverpool struggled a lot. He was a bit exposed. But Ramsdale really looked very, very good. There were games like this save against Leicester, for example, right? Phenomenal save. There were some games that we won only because of Ramsdale, right? So the guy's a very good goalie. You know, if you watched my previous videos, that I really like the guy. I think he's a phenomenal goalie. So 50 millions, I think it's a fair price. He's a young English player, obviously. So if we can get 50 millions or 50-ish millions for him, and whatever we can get for Eddie, that's basically the transfer price of Ivan Toney. So I guess that's what we're trying to do, but not just those two, right? I mean, there are a couple of other players now. Cedric obviously is going for free, but given the age, yeah, not much you can do there. But the sign of improvement I'm talking about is just a couple of years ago, right, when Edu started this project, when he was appointed to this project, and obviously Mikel Arteta was taken aboard of that. You remember that we couldn't even sell players for 15 millions, right? Nobody wanted our players, probably apart from Saka and Martinelli. Other players in this team were not praised, right? Even Gabriel Magalhaes was kinda named this Bozo gene defender, right? Which was absolute bullshit, of course. The guy's a phenomenal defender. We can see it right now. I don't think that people realized the players that played beside him were shit, and that's why. I mean, it's very hard. I mean, again, last year, look at Liverpool. They made Virgil van Dijk look shit. Like when you make a guy like that look shit, that says a lot about your teammates, right? So look at Gabriel this season when he has Saliba next to him, right? Now, obviously, I'm not talking about Saliba and Odegaard because they were taken after that. So going back to what's that, 2018, 2019, we couldn't sell players for more than 15 minutes. You remember the transfer saga with Xhaka, right? And again, the funny part was it was again Mourinho involved, but apart from Roma and Mourinho, I don't think anybody else wanted Xhaka, right? We asked for I think we asked for 17 millions. They didn't want to pay more than 15, so Arsenal rejected it. And that's basically it. Other players we couldn't even loan them. Nobody wanted them. Eddie, nobody wanted Eddie. We couldn't get 10 millions for Eddie back then. Look at him now, right? So I think this is probably the best sign for me that we're going the correct way. We're going the right way. Hopefully, we can find more. How can I say? We can find more suitors for our players that we are not going to use. Probably at some point we will have to move Trossard. If we are going to get another winger into the team, we could potentially, move players like Chris Nelson. We could potentially move players like Fabio Vieira. Obviously Thomas Partey right now. So yeah, I think that this is probably the one thing I'm looking at, and actually it makes me happy because finally we can start selling press for good prices, which of course can help us go into the market, not being worried about the financial fair play, because we still have to keep an eye on this one as well. Because going into January, we all know we need a center mid and we definitely need a striker, backup striker. I would personally prioritize a center mid. Some people say it's a striker, but the truth is, one of them, just one of them, I don't think it will be enough for us, right? Because Liverpool very good this season. Yet they don't have a good midfield. The defense is still shaky, but they have a phenomenal attack, right? They can just outscore teams, and there is a reason they're second in the league, right? With only one loss, which they shouldn't have. Then you have Aston Villa, right? I don't think Aston Villa will keep long in this title race, but for now they're there. So, and they're scoring a lot of goals as well. Then you have City, of course. You know they were missing Kevin De Bruyne. Then they, on top of that, Rodri missed a couple of games, right? So De Bruyne back to training. They will pick up pretty quick. So yeah, it will be interesting. But as I said, so as we know, the Arsenal plan is to go to January transfer window is, from what I've read, is they want to buy Rea because he's the cheaper option, and they want to loan Tony after that because apparently you cannot loan two players from the same squad, from the same team, from the same club, I should say. Which, yeah, I think, to be fair, it doesn't make much sense to me from Brentford point of view. I still think they will ask for the transfer of Tony, so we can keep Raya up until the end of the season alone and then buy him, because why would they make any favors to us, right? But if somehow we manage to get whichever center mid we're targeting, I think the last one was Wesley Fofana, I believe it was. So yeah, if we can get center mid and a striker, at least those two, in January transfer window, I think we can increase our chances to win the title finally and to go deep into the Champions League with a bit of luck in the draws. Now Porto, I've always said that, you know, there are no bad teams in the Champions League elimination phase, right? There's no such thing. Those teams are there for a reason. If you're going to underestimate Porto, you're going out. They're a good side. Yeah, I know they lost what was 2-0 last night to Sporting, but those Portuguese teams, no, they're not going down without a fight. So yeah, we shouldn't be underestimating them. They're not bad teams. Of course, there are teams that you, let's say, prefer to play. For example, Copenhagen, right? You most definitely prefer to play Copenhagen than, let's say, Napoli. That's 100%. But again, no bad teams there. So at the end of the day, we still have to, at some point, we'll have to play a big boy, right? We'll have to play City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barca. I know a lot of people saying Barca is not the same. I've seen people, this is Barca. Come on, this is Barcelona. Yeah, they may lose to Girona, they may lose points to anybody. Look at the way they played against Real Madrid this season. Absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, hopefully we can have a good January. Hopefully we can finally win this title, because it's getting irritated now, 20 plus years. Actually, next year it will be 20 years. Hopefully we don't get to that. So like the video, share the video, and up to the next one.